Smoke weed every day.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here with NBA Live 15. This episode isn't your normal, episode. This is more like a point out of, this is more like a point out of flaws in this game that needs to be fixed and adjusted, and hopefully EA can watch this video, considering the fact that I'm giving them more leeway this year than I am giving NBA 2K, so that's a blessing for them, but for me, so yeah. This is the first gripe I have with this game, and I think should be addressed, is the camera. I don't like, it's not the fact that this camera is bad, it's just that I think for the Rising Star mode, the camera should be more centered towards your player. That's one thing that NBA 2K does right. They angle it more towards the player that you're controlling, so that way you can see where you are on the floor. Because it's like, no matter what camera angle I'm on, it's hard for me to tell where I am on the floor, and before I know it, I could probably end up leaving the guy wide open for three, and he's gonna make it, and that kind of makes me upset. The camera angles, they need to be centered around the player who I am currently. The player who I am currently should be the camera's main focus, not the player who has the ball. We know who has the ball. Keep it on the player. Zoom it out a little bit if you have to. You didn't have to go. I understand they're trying to show off the improvements of the graphics and stuff like that with camera shots like these. This is why I play on the broadcast version camera and not this type of camera, because one, this camera, you can't see where you are, especially when I get moved over to shooting guard. It becomes 10 times harder for me to play D, because now I don't know where my man is, and I gotta play guessing game as to where he's on the right or the left, and I gotta figure out if I'm in the paint or not before I get a 3-second call. So I really hope that next year or probably this year, they can like patch that and make the camera more towards the player than it is towards the player that you're controlling than the player who has the ball. I don't think it really needs to go towards the player who has the ball. It needs to go towards the player, because we need to see ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be playing the guessing game, getting back on defense, because I think that's how the computer sometimes takes advantage. Even though like my team still ends up blowing out teams for some odd reason, but it's like, and that's another thing too I gotta talk about. What's up with the difficulty? It's like, no matter how high I put the difficulty, we still getting blowout wins, which I don't have no problem with. But I mean, like, if you're not gonna, if the difficulty is not gonna really give me a challenge, then that kind of takes away from the game. Even though I know this is more arcadey and not simulation type, this is more arcadey-ish and not simulation like NBA 2K, and that's what I like about it. I like how it's simple. They shouldn't really have to go into like full depth of the basketball thing like NBA 2K15 did. That's why they're suffering right now, because they've went from being just a simple basketball game to something else that's just complicated. Now it's complicated how things work, because they try to make everything so realistic, especially with the buttons. And Live just keeps it simple. They don't make everything complicated. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything is just everything is just simple, and that's what I want. That's all I want in my basketball game, and I hope that EA, if you're watching this right now, this is what I can tell y'all right now. With NBA 2K15 getting such bad reviews from consumers, not from these websites, but from the consumers themselves. The people who are actually playing these games are giving these bad reviews. I've been looking everywhere. It's been getting 6. It's been getting 6s. I saw a 4 and a 5 from some websites, from consumer websites. I went on GameStop, and it had like a 6 point. I think it had like a 6.5 one time I saw it. Like it literally had a 6.5. People were really upset with this game. And I mean, even though the online is a little bit more better now on NBA 2K, it's still more has to do with the gameplay itself. Like it doesn't feel like a simulation basketball game anymore. It doesn't feel like a simple basketball game anymore. It feels like they're trying to bring too much realism in it, and that's what I think a lot of people don't want. We don't want all this realism in our basketball games. We want to just keep it simple, where you dribble, you beat your man, and you get to the basket, or you shoot it. You know what I'm saying? Like the goal is to put the ball in the basket, not. We don't need all this extra stuff. There's reasons why we want to do isolation plays. Maybe some of us just want to be ball hogs and want to be the hero of our team. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we don't have to run plays. You know what I'm saying? Like just make it simple for us, the player. And that's one of 2K's biggest problems. And I think this is what NBA Live can take. They can take advantage of. So yeah, I think if you could stop with the stiff gameplay, because there was one game where I did a 360 alley-oop, and the 360 alley-oop, the animation that I went into was so damn stiff. I could not believe it was like, it was cool to see it because it was something it was like a spectacular move. But at the same time, the animation was so stiff, it kind of took away from it. So I think what NBA 2K needs, NBA Live needs to do is they need to really get some mocaps from some NBA players. You know, get some mocap from some NBA players and fix this animation scheme. Because, I mean, other than the dribbling is fantastic. I will say that. The dribbling is fantastic. When they explode off one leg and hop to the basket, like you saw right there, when they're going to the basket and somebody explodes off one leg and hops into, you know, rhythm and stuff like that, that's great. That's something that I think Live does well, is the dribbling, and when you explode to the basket, they make it look so realistic, and I like that, you know. Whereas Live, it just seems like you glide to the basket sometimes. Like, not Live, but NBA 2K, it seems like you glide to the basket sometimes. Sometimes in NBA 2K, there are instances like if you dunk the ball, you don't really like lift off. You kind of more like, it's like a little bit, you see a little bit of the lift, but it's like mainly just gliding to the basket. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all know what I'm saying, you know. Some of y'all know what I'm saying. But yeah, this is probably one of the things. This is probably one of the best things that NBA Live has going for them, and I think they really should consider capitalizing on that, because NBA Live does do things right that 2K just doesn't get. You know what I'm saying? Like this is their, like, I think NBA Live 16 should be the game that puts them back on top, or at least in the conversation again. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I said, I've already exposed NBA 2K, and I already explained how I felt about them. So now it's really just you know that. But yeah, there's some gripes that I do have with it, and I'm about to show you one right now. Yeah, hold on real quick. This one right here. This is a big no-no, NBA Live. That's a big no-no. And then there's some other problems that I have, as you're gonna see right here. But this I don't know. This is just a patch I think y'all need to come up with. This is just a patch. I think this is some patch notes I think that you guys need to like put into the game before, you know. I think this is just some patchwork you guys need to do, because and I never finished this game against Chicago. That's why it was never recorded, because of this. I keep getting these. I've gotten this error about 3 to 4 times. 3 to 4 times I have gotten this error where I keep getting booted out the game randomly. And I think, and hopefully EA is watching this so that way they can fix this, because this is not this is not acceptable. I thought it was it's not the PlayStation or nothing like that. This is truly the game itself, because this has happened 3 times now to me. 3 times this has now happened to me, and I think EA needs to address this. And there's a couple other things that I need to show you guys as well. This right here, this is so fucking annoying. Now I've been booted out the game 3 times, but this keeps happening to me almost every time. It seems like every time I play a couple of games, either I get booted out or the game gets stuck here. We'll be in the 4th quarter, I get fouled, go to the free throw line, and I'm just stuck here. And I hate that so much. This is a big problem that I think EA needs to patch. Hopefully this video can get out to them. You know, tag them, let them know that these problems need to be fixed. The getting booted out the game randomly, and this. Oh yeah, and the scoreboard sometimes disappears as well. That's another big issue I have with this game. The scoreboard will disappear for a good amount of time unless you call like a timeout or you pause the game. But I'm recording. I'm in the middle of recording, so I can't pause the game. So I'm stuck like that. I don't like pausing the game when I'm recording. You know what I'm saying? So they need to really do some patchwork on this game. I know it's a little bit. I know we almost like a month. We're almost like a month in from this game being released. So I think this is just the little things I think they need to fix and get out the way. You know, because this right here is ridiculous. And yeah, I'll talk more about what NBA Live should do in the next video. But yeah, man, like this video, thumb it up, get this as much views as possible, because I think EA can really turn things around here. I think EA can really turn things around here, because this is because NBA Live 15 is a good improvement. It's not the best, but it's a start, and I think they can go the distance next year if they can get a couple of things fixed. And I have another video coming out pretty soon, so yeah, stay tuned for that. This is Mr. DDG94 signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.